So, Lauren, the story starts the same way, but went a very different direction. So here we go.
Awesome.
This is The Adventures of CeCe and Freddie by your friends. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess named CeCe. She wore a tiara made of forsythia, her favorite flower. CeCe loved to make people laugh and was wise as an owl. She was the best big sister for her little brother, Freddie. CeCe loved Freddie because he was witty, he had the courage of a lion, and most of all, he was the kindest prince that she knew. They were the perfect team. Together we can do anything, CeCe exclaimed. One day, CeCe and Freddie decided to leave their Towson castle in search of adventure.
Awesome. All right, everyone mute.
Oh, good idea.
Cool.
Sorry.
All right. CeCe wanted to show Freddie all the wonderful things that the world has to offer. As they began their adventure of exploring, CeCe began to explain the first lesson of their journey, friendship. Two dogs were playing in the castle's yard as they were walking away. Look, Freddie, that is our dog Izzy and her friend Tessa. Tessa and Izzy like to play games together, share toys, and are also here for one another in times of need. As you continue to grow, you will meet many new friends that will be there for you and you will be there for them. They may come and go as you grow and get older. Just like Tessa and Izzy, being a good friend means caring, sharing, and loving, even if you don't see each other every day. Brothers and sisters are like forever friends, and I will always be there for you, no matter how near or far we are. Oh, Anna, do you want to read this one? Charlotte?
Or do you want to go ahead? Because I'm going to read plays at the end as well.
Okay, all right. So this is Charlotte's, Lauren.
Okay.
As CeCe was showing Freddie around their kingdom of Circle Road, CeCe pointed out where their dad, the king, likes to play golf and the bridge they are not allowed to cross. She told Freddie that they are not allowed to cross this bridge, but when it rains very hard, the bridge floods and cuts off access in and out of the Circle Road kingdom. This has never been a problem before because there is no reason to leave the kingdom without a grown-up. As they were walking around and admiring everything around them, they heard someone calling Freddie's name. At first, it was hard to tell where it was coming from, but soon they realized it was coming from the other side of the Circle Road Bridge. As they walked closer to the bridge, they saw a group of big kids on the other side calling Prince Freddie to come over and play with them, and showed him a big pile of big kid toys that he could play with if he came over the bridge. No, don't go, Freddie. It's a trick, and we have all the toys we need in our kingdom, CeCe pleaded, as these were the toys that Freddie had never seen before, and besides, why couldn't he run fast to the other side of the short bridge? Freddie took a deep breath and started to cross the bridge to play with the big kids, but it was just her imagination, or did CeCe see storm clouds rolling over the horizon?
Dun, dun, dun.
Freddie was a curious little boy, but couldn't stop himself from exploring and dashed over the bridge. CeCe couldn't let her brother go alone, so she scurried after him. But before she could catch up, he had already crossed the bridge and was talking to Steve, the leader of the big kids. He told Freddie it was okay to break the rules, but CeCe knew better. Just then, the skies opened up and it started to rain very hard, and the bridge was close to being washed out.
Freddie grabbed CeCe's hand and pulled her to the other side of the bridge. The waters were rising, so for now, they were stuck outside of their kingdom with the big kids. Freddie said, "CeCe, I'm scared." CeCe said, "Don't worry, Freddie, I will keep you safe. That's what big sisters are for. Once the waters go back down, we will go back to our kingdom." Steve looked at Freddie and CeCe and said, "Come on, guys."
CeCe wasn't so sure she and Freddie should go with Steve, but as the water poured on them and they began to soak, she saw her brother start to shiver. She looked at Steve as he said again, "Come on, let's get out of this rain." CeCe took Freddie's hand and they scurried after Steve under the cover of the big trees through the woods. After a few minutes, they saw a big tree house ahead of them, and they saw Steve go up the ladder to take cover. CeCe helped Freddie up the ladder first and followed quickly behind him. Once she stuck her head inside the treehouse, her eyes lit up, and she could barely contain her smile as she looked around slowly.
Her eyes filled with joy. Every color she had ever seen before was painted on the walls. Steve told them this is where he goes when he wants to feel happy. Freddie looked at CeCe and stated, "I do feel happy here." And CeCe smiled and hugged Freddie. agreeing, "I feel happy too." The three kids played in the treehouse while they listened to the rain thumping overhead. When they could no longer hear the rain, they looked out, and to their surprise, they saw a beautiful rainbow arched across the sky in the direction of the bridge back towards their kingdom.
The sun had come out, and the rainbow arched across the sky, illuminating a kaleidoscope of colors all around the treehouse and the ground below. CeCe turned to Freddie and said, "I think it's safe to go back home now." Princess CeCe bravely led the way, pointing out the beautiful blues of the iris flowers, the majestic yellow of the marigolds, and the kids' sparkling reflections in the puddles below their feet. As Freddie looked around their magical world, he realized he was no longer afraid of the journey ahead.
Prince Freddie felt so peaceful that he closed his eyes to breathe in the fresh, intoxicating scent of flowers and grass after the rain. He listened as a calm breeze rustled through the trees and a sweet flute-like melody drifted towards him. "What's that, CeCe?" he exclaimed in wonder. "Look!" cried CeCe, and her little brother's eyes opened wide. "An oriole!" Freddie giggled in delight as a beautiful orange bird swept down and perched on his shoulder. The oriole chattered excitedly in Freddie's ear and then took off in a flutter. "I think he wants us to follow him," said Prince Freddie.
And then Kay was the one to finish the story, but she couldn't be here to read it, so this is her part. The oriole flew low so that CeCe and Freddie could follow him. He sang and did loop-de-loops as he flew, which made Freddie and CeCe giggle with glee. They skipped along hand in hand. Suddenly, CeCe gasped, "Hey, I know where we are. We're almost home." The oriole had led them safely back home. As they approached the castle, Freddie and CeCe heard a cheerful chattering getting louder and louder. And was that music playing? The oriole flew into the castle's backyard, and Freddie and CeCe excitedly ran after him. They couldn't believe their eyes. In the backyard, all of the woodland creatures in the neighborhood had set up a picnic. There were rabbits, squirrels, chipmunks, mice, woodpeckers, cardinals, frogs, butterflies, honeybees, and even a few foxes. Everyone brought something to share with their woodland neighbors. They ate the most delicious food, played games, and danced the jumpy, jivin' tunes of Hoppy T. Toad and his big bug band. At the sunset, fireflies lit up the trees and the bamboo forest around the house. Everyone danced until they were tuckered out. They cleaned up, said their goodbyes, and everyone went home to sleep and dream about the wonderful picnic they had. As they crawled into bed, CeCe and Freddie told their mommy and daddy all about their adventures that day. King James and Queen Lauren were so amazed by their story and so glad they made it home safely that they forgot to be mad at Freddie and CeCe crossing the Forbidden Bridge. Now more than ever, the Royal Hughes family was so happy to be all together under one roof. As everyone drifted off to sleep, they each felt a cozy, magical feeling that this night was the beginning of a happily ever after. The end.
Oh, you guys are so talented. Thank you so much. That is so sweet.
Oh, that was cute.
Bravo. Oh, Freddie's waking up. He wants to say, really great job. I really love the story. Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I hope that wasn't too much of a pain to write.
No, it was fun.